Hello everybody! What's up? It's me again. Hi, how are you? It's Friday! We made it through the week! We made it through the week! We made it through the week! This week went by super fast. It was totally crazy. But I'll introduce myself. Hello, my name is Amanda Ruth Wilson. I'm an intuitive and I help women be free from anxiety, all sorts of amazing things. But I wanted to talk about student loans. Hello, Talia. Guess what? My student loan is paid off! Woo! So I posted about that earlier and I'm so excited. I graduated in 2014. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this, okay? How many of you have student loans? Put a 1 in the comments. If you have student loans and you're paying them off, you know how long it's going to take you to pay them off, just let me know. I'm just kidding. You don't have to share if you don't want to. Feel free to if you want to as well. Or if yours is paid off too, say something about it. Now, there's been some debate I've seen here and there that well, college is a scam, and well, so-and-so built business this way, and so-and-so did that. To each their own is what I think. To each their own. You go your own way. You do your own path. And sometimes people want a formal education, and that's totally okay. There are some extremely important lessons I learned in my formal education and experiences I might not have otherwise had I not gone. Now, most of my student loan actually came from going to Europe when I finished my degree. I just had 1 language credit left. I was going to Germany for study abroad. I didn't want to come back for 1 more semester. And before we had kids, I was throwing more debt towards it, and then I got lucky on this. But they found out I was underpaid 1 semester for a scholarship that I had received. And so they knocked off a couple $100. So I was like, well, sweet. I'm just going to keep doing that. And I started a couple years ago listening to Dave Ramsey and talking about those types of things. And then it wasn't until within the last year I was introduced to this amazing person who has become a dear mentor of mine. And she talks about money energy and your thoughts and your mind around money. Now, what you focus on expands. What you choose to focus on becomes what you are focused on. So if you're always focused on, I am so broke, I have $5 in the bank, I am always living paycheck to paycheck, or I am always stuck doing all of these things, like I'm stuck. You know, the words that you're using are trapping your mentality. Hello, Shelby, how are you? And when you use those words to trap your mentality, from my personal experience, you tend to stay stuck there until you finally break out of that. You want to find something different. So what I started doing is I was trying to figure out a way. Now, if some of you are opposed to some of the things that I say on here, that's totally fine. To each their own. I'm not here to debate. I'm just here to share my experience, and what resonates with people is what is going to sit. So when we had Cedric, I had been home for 12 weeks, and I was trying to figure out, well, Shane's going to be with him part of the time. So we weren't doing anything with daycare yet. And I'm like, how are we going to pay off all this stuff? The hospital bill, all of these things. I still have my student loan. Now Shane has his student loan. And we have some credit card debt and our car. And you get me. If you get me, drop a 2 in the comments so I know you get me. The thing about it is, I was like, well, I'm not going to sit here and just stay broke. I don't want to stay broke. And so a friend of mine had introduced me to network marketing. And so I hit the pavement with that, or I thought I did. And it was like this for me. I tried, failed. I did some stuff, that kind of thing. And I was just like, I don't know if this is working. However, I learned a lot about money, and that's what led me to listening to Dave Ramsey talk. And listening to Dave Ramsey, I started trying to do the debt snowball. What's up, Derek? How are you? It's been a minute. So I started doing the debt snowball, or attempting to. But then within about a year or so, year and a half, I got pregnant again. And things at my job changed. And we had to start over on our premiums for insurance and everything. Hello, Cindy. And I was just like, okay, I pay off a little bit of some debt here, and then more debt just piles on. I mean, we've all been there. If you feel me, please tell me in the comments. You know what I'm talking about. And you feel like it's impossible. So then your brain starts turning to, I can't do this. I can't handle it. I can't. Now, I have been listening to James Altucher. Look him up. He's really, really cool. And I was listening to his podcast, and this was like one of his episodes from 2014. And he said he has had so many business ideas. I mean, the guy, like, right before, I think it was in either the 90s or right before the recession, the 2008-2009 recession, he had made $2 million and, like, lost it in 2 years. Like, lost everything and had to start over from the ground up. And so I was like, okay, I'm still listening. But he's talking about it now. I mean, he's extremely wealthy now. Like, go look him up. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But he is very clever in the way he's talking about it. But one thing that stuck out to me was he said, I kept writing down business ideas and, like, going through bad business ideas and the businesses that were successful. And so in my thoughts, I was kind of applying this to how I was working on paying off my debt. That I tried some things and I had failed. I tried some things and I succeeded. Tried some things and I failed. And so sometimes the whole point of that is sometimes you might be beating your head against the wall, you know, scratching the pavement, trying to find a way out. Until you're willing to look at, well, what do I need to do? What do I need to sacrifice for me to get to this next level? For me to get to where I want to go? Hello, Tasha. Hi, Carlos. For me to finally, like, get out of this rut. And I don't know if you've seen those pictures of people who are, like, they're climbing and then there's that dip and you can see someone who's stuck. Hello, Chantel. You can see someone who is stuck in the hole, and then the other person's, like, figured out how to get out of the hole. Everybody can get out. It ultimately depends on how much are you actually willing to sacrifice to get to that point. Is it worth the short-term sacrifice? Now, I hear this a lot being in the network marketing world of, you know, well, you have to sacrifice everything that you want. Like, you don't have to go to the extreme, and I know sometimes that can come off in extremes, that kind of thing, which it's fine. It is what it is. You're going to learn your lesson one way or the other. But when you start looking at it and you are focused on it and you're finding ways to attack it, you're going to start to figure it out. And you don't need someone to tell you what to do. Like, truthfully, no, you don't have to listen to Dave Ramsey. You don't have to listen to James Altucher. You don't have to listen to me. You figure out what works best for you. You just start to figure it out. You failed on this last attempt. Okay, well, where did we go wrong? What can we do better? What can we do to make this better this time around? Sorry, my arm is getting tired. So, like, what can we do to make this better this time around? And maybe you take a harder look at, well, what is it that should be sacrificed? Or am I willing to sacrifice something? Like, for example, I told myself, I'm going to work harder to get myself out of my debt and the things that I'm working on, and I'm going to create more wealth and abundance in my life. Well, one of the things I'm eliminating is television. I'm only allowing myself one single exception. Bachelor in Paradise. I know. You're going to laugh. Just laugh at me. It's totally fine. However, because I have other things that I know my time is better spent on, because it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth the short-term sacrifice so I can breathe freer in the long run. So I'm just saying, like, if you're hitting your head against the pavement trying to figure out what to do next, I can help you brainstorm. I can help you with that. So reach out to me, talk to me, or leave a comment saying, hey, hit me up, let's talk. You know, I'm more than happy to help other people because I like giving more ideas and inspiring other people to figure those types of things out. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but ultimately it matters what you think about it. Because like I said at the beginning of my video, what you focus on expands. And if you're only focused on how much you don't have, you're missing out on what you do have. And you're also missing out on what you can create. Because you can create the space in your life to breathe easier. It's possible. You just need to start writing it down, figuring it out, and trying something different. And if you don't, you might stay stuck in that cycle. And I don't want you to stay there. So, if you got any value from this, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, or you can send me a message. Thanks so much for watching tonight. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday night. It's the weekend. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Good night.